What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. My name is Just Jen, and today we're talking about Marjorie Taylor-Greene wanting to censure Rashida Tlaib from Congress. And before we all get our panties in a wad, I have the video from Forbes Breaking News, but I wanted to get into what is it when somebody is censured from Congress. And don't get all excited like I did because, I always count my chickens before they hatch. I wanted to show you guys what it means to be censured from Congress and the history on expulsion from Congress. And what I found will raise a few eyebrows, to say the very least. But first, I have to put out this opinion disclaimer. I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Opinion disclaimer. Opinion disclaimer of Just Gen Reacts here. The views and opinions expressed on YouTube are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Just Gen Reacts. Any content provided by our blogger or authors are their opinions and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything. I figured I'd put that in there, you know, seeing as what we cover lately is very taboo. I mean, if you could even call it that, because I'm over here like, yeah, I don't think it is. All right, so here's what I found. What does it mean if someone is censured, not censored, not to be confused with censored? So when a house approves a censure measure with a majority vote, the member being censured must stand in the well of the house. That sounds very scary. As the presiding officer reads the censure resolution aloud. Ooh. And that's what video we're going to be watching today is Marjorie Taylor-Greene reading her censure of Rashida Tlaib. Now, if you guys don't know who Marjorie Taylor-Greene is, she's a very outspoken congresswoman from Georgia and going up against one Michigan congresswoman, Rashida Tlaib. Rashida Tlaib is a member of the Democratic Socialist Squad, and she is very pro-Palestine, and that is the reason for the hearing today. So it's basically like a disapproval, like a loud and proud, like I'm very disapproving of what you stand for, Miss Rashida Tlaib. Now I call her Rashida Tlaib the Queeb. If you grew up in the 80s, you'd understand. So I also found what happens when you get expelled from Congress, because believe it or not, when somebody is censured from Congress, it doesn't necessarily mean that they give up their seat. They're still able to hold their vote. They just relinquish their title, which I find remarkably disturbing, because if you're thinking so like anti-American, and if you're thinking like this, your ass should be out. I mean, that is my opinion. Anyways, so how do we get somebody expelled from Congress? It's not so much that it as this, I would think, is to be expelled from Congress when you're not holding your civic duty, when you're literally taking an oath to protect America, and you don't do that, you should be expelled from Congress. So I don't think that they should have a censuring hearing on Rashida Tlaib. I think that her and the rest of the pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas, anti-Israel, they should be expelled. And what I found remarkably disturbing on Wikipedia, very leftist, I'm going to use the leftist media sources because let's face it, where could you actually find truth in the media lately except on your favorite content creators here on YouTube? So here's what happens when you expel somebody from Congress. And this is the history behind expelling people from Congress. Now, there has been 20 of them in American history, and they all came in like the late or mid to late 1800s. All of these people who were expelled from Congress and the House of Representatives were expelled because they were in favor of the Confederacy. So they were in favor of keeping slavery alive and well in America. And there has been 20 members, the entire history of the United States Congress, 20 members have been expelled, 15 from the Senate and 5 from the House of Representatives. 17 of these 20 were expelled for supporting the Confederate States in 1861 and 1862. So you mean to tell me we have expelled people from Congress for simply saying, I support Confederate States. I support slavery. So you mean to tell me that we cannot remove the very American congressmen and women and members of our House of Representatives who are pro what happened in Israel? So I just wanted to bring that up really quickly to show you the hypocrisy here. So we can remove these people, but we can't remove the Democratic Socialist Squad. Things that make you go, So I'm going to bring up the video now of Marjorie Taylor-Greene. This is members of Congress speaking on the floor regarding one Rashida Tlaib, the Queeb. Now, that is my pet name for Rashida Tlaib. So, yeah. Here's the video, you guys. Enjoy. I'm going to listen and react to it with you guys and give you guys my opinions on the matter. Get my handy dandy comfy shore. I love these things. Today, I marked 9 years of sobriety, by the way. November 1st, 2014 was when I put down heroin forever. And if I can do it, I want you guys out there to know, if I can do it, you can too. Come on now. I was one of the worst. All right, let's see. Marjorie Taylor-Greene, light it up. Light it up, up, light it up, light it up, up. She's on fire. Sorry, I had to.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Clause 2A1 of Rule 9, I seek recognition to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House. The form of the resolution is as follows.
This coffee's hot.
A resolution censuring Representative Rashida Tlaib for anti-Semitic activity, sympathizing with terrorist organizations, and leading an insurrection at the United States Capitol complex. Whereas in May 2019, Rashida Tlaib said that she celebrated the Holocaust and felt a calming feeling when thinking about the genocide of millions of Jews.
Oh, now I didn't know that. Now, Rashida Tlaib hails from Michigan, and if I'm not mistaken, it's around the Dearborn area. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, they have a very, very, very densely populated Muslim, a big community there in the Michigan areas, and several communities there in Michigan. And what I really wanted to stress, guys, is this: I know a lot of Muslims. And I'm going to tell you this right here and right now, that the Muslims that I know are extremely peaceful people. They are not warmongers, and they're not okay. They're especially not okay with what happened in Israel on October 7th. Now, Rashida Tlaib was quoted as saying this, and she was elected. Now, where is the committee, the October 18th committee, when she did speak and she was literally speaking fake news? She was talking about a hospital in Gaza that was supposedly bombed by Israel, but even Joe Biden came out and said that's not true. When you got Joe Biden fact checking you and you still proceed to go in front of people and fearmonger and warmonger, something's wrong here. So I think like this. I think like Rashida Tlaib needs to go. I think she needs to be not only censured from Congress, she needs to be removed fully. Like, get her out. Anybody who is pro what happened in October is absolutely should not hold a position in American politics. And I also think her statement of how she felt a calming sensation while thinking about the victims of the Holocaust, how did she get into office, is beyond me. My God, man. You know, they swear and they take an oath. They literally take an oath to uphold the Constitution and to be pro-American. And the Democratic Socialists are anything but. And I'm talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I'm talking about Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, all of these Democratic socialists. Who else is there? Ilhan Omar as well. Ilhan Omar is absolutely pro-Palestine and pro-Hamas. They will not denounce what Hamas did. And that is a problem. We need to expel these people. And if you believe so, please comment down below.
Feeling when thinking about the genocide of millions of Jews. Whereas in 2020, Rashida Tlaib retweeted an illustration with the caption, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." And this Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO slogan has been adopted by Hamas and calls for the elimination of Israel and death to all Jews.
Really quickly, I will get back to the video remarkably quickly after this pausing. What is PLO? Well, it's Palestinian Liberation Organization, or Palestine Liberation Organization, meaning they want to liberate Palestine from Israel. What they really want to do is eradicate all of the Israelis, all of the Jews. They're loud and proud about that. That from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. That is an anti-Semitic slogan. That means we want to kill all Jews. They are just cowards and they won't say it. But we all know what they're thinking and what they mean when they say that. Palestine isn't even on the map. Okay. And I'm very outspoken about this lately because what Hamas did October 7th. Now, you'll never hear a Democrat socialist say this. They should. What happened October 7th in Israel, they were given zero warnings, was absolutely abhorrent and horrendous and Holocaust-like, very Holocaust-esque, if you were to ask me. And for any of these Democrats to be here and hold positions in American politics, it's absolutely ridiculous. And I feel, in my heart of hearts, in my opinion, they should not only be expelled, but they should be deported to Gaza. Go on over there, but they won't. And, Joe Biden, the Biden administration, I did a video on this. I'll link it up here. Joe Biden hired Najwa Ali, a very PLO. She worked for the PLO, the Palestine Liberating Organization. She worked for them, and she now handles asylum seekers and people coming across our southern border. So, do you now know why 160 people or different countries and then some were let in through our southern border? And if somebody is working for the PLO and they are very pro-Palestine, how many refugees from Israel do you think will be granted asylum with people like that handling asylum cases? But it's no small secret why a bunch of military-aged men were allowed in. Don't let them lie to you and say it's all women and children. Boo, don't you want them to have a better life? Why are they letting in all military-aged men and women, or men and military-aged men? The women and children are not coming over like they're saying they are. And the people who were responsible for the open borders and all of this mess, they literally lost 85,000 children, migrant children, to be exact.
Whereas in September 2022, Rashida Tlaib, as a member of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, displayed her disdain for Israel, saying, "You cannot claim to hold progressive values, yet back Israel's apartheid government." Whereas instead of denouncing the horrors of Hamas, slaughtering Israelis, and demanding the release of all hostages held by Hamas, Rashida Tlaib stated on October 8th, 2023, "The path to the future must include lifting the blockade, ending the occupation, and dismantling the apartheid system that creates the suffocating, dehumanizing conditions that can lead to resistance." Whereas Rashida Tlaib exhibited her hatred for America by reposting a message on October 12th, 2023, blaming America for allowing the deaths of Palestinian babies at the hands of Israel. Whereas Rashida Tlaib led an insurrection.
Before we get to the insurrection, the real insurrection that was caught on camera that was led by a United States congressperson, a congresswoman, one Rashida Tlaib. Before we get to that, Marjorie Taylor-Greene here alluded to what started that, what instigated that. Well, it was Rashida Tlaib literally telling people that Israel just bombed a hospital. Then we later find out that Hamas actually misfired a rocket, and it was in a parking lot of the hospital. So that parking lot got severe damage. Whoop-de-woo. No innocent civilians were killed in that. And for her to literally come on and tell people that Israel just killed a bunch of innocent women and children in a hospital, I don't understand how she has not been charged with insurrection. We're going to get into the insurrection at the Capitol right now.
Whereas Rashida Tlaib led an insurrection at the United States Capitol complex on October 18th, 2023, which put members of Congress, their staffs, and Capitol visitors in danger by shutting down elevators, stairwells, and points of egress while obstructing official business in both the House of Representatives and the Senate, including a Senate Foreign Affairs Committee hearing. Whereas the insurrection led by Rashida Tlaib was organized by Jewish Voice for Peace, which the Anti-Defamation League calls a radical anti-Israel activist group that advocates for a complete economic, cultural, and academic boycott of the state of Israel, and that believes Israeli policies and actions are motivated by deeply rooted Jewish racial chauvinism and religious supremacism.
Okay, so if you have organizations like that leading an insurrection at our United States Capitol, why aren't they in prison? Why aren't the people that are tweeting this sentenced to prison for 22 years? See the hypocrisy, the rules for thee, but not for me of the left. Literally, we need to stop that. We need to stop that and hold people accountable equally. But is this country equal? Please let me know down in the comments, because I'll tell you what, I only see conservatives being punished. I see people like Ray Epps telling people to storm the Capitol, just like Rashida Tlaib did. She led an insurrection and she's not in jail. We need to be vocal about this. We need to use our God-given voices and our platforms to say we should demand they be held accountable. Just like we did with Hakeem Jeffries with the fire alarm that he pulled to stall the vote. Well, then I guess we have to do the same, because when we're showing people that, hey, listen, if you're on the left, the rules for thee, but not for me, absolutely apply here. And that is unfair. You don't get to just say, hey, because you're a Trump supporter, because you're a conservative, then we're going to punish you at the fullest extent of the law. But if you're a Democrat, well, then you're basically getting away with crime after crime after crime after crime. The days of the untouchable Democrats need to be over and done with. And if we have a voice, we need to use that voice and stand together and say enough already. This hypocrisy and double standards for people on the left, it's painstaking and it's ignorant, and I'm so sick and tired of it. All right, back to the show, folks. Back to the shit show.
Chauvinism and religious supremacism.
They hate people.
Whereas members of the Southern Poverty Law Center, a far-left nonprofit organization, were present at the insurrection at the Capitol on October 18th, 2023.
Where's the committee?
Whereas several insurrectionists at the Capitol belong to a group messaging chat called Global Intifada, which is the Arabic word for rebellion or uprising, and refers to a series
Global Antifada. It sounds to me, that sounds a lot to me like Antifa. Did you guys hear that? Let's back it up just a tad bit.
For rebellion or uprising, and refers to a series of protests and violent riots carried out by...
Oh, we didn't go back far enough. I can't stand it when I do that.
Arabic word for rebellion.
Oh, I did it again. All right. Global I don't know. It sounded like Antifa to me.
Chat called Global Intifada.
global Antifada. So what is that? The Latin word for Antifa, Anquifa. I call them Anquifa because they're like a giant old pussy fart, just like Rashida Tlaib, the queeb. It's disgusting. It is anarchy. It is chaos. It's murder. It is literally condoning it. It's condoning the people in Hamas and the subhumans that they are, that they did that to the people in Israel. And the women and children, the women and children. So Gaza was given ample warnings. They knock on roofs, they do roof knockings, they even drop pamphlets from the sky and say, listen, you got 24 hours to get people, women and children, out of there, get the innocent civilians out of there. But did Hamas let them out? No, they didn't. And the Palestinians actually elected Hamas in 2006. And have you seen the videos yet of the little babies where they're wearing the green headbands of Hamas and the people are being interviewed? I posted the video on my shorts if you want to watch it. They're literally saying, is your baby for Hamas? Oh, yes, of course. How about you, sir? How would you feel if your daughter was a suicide bomber? I would praise her. This is preposterous. And for any American that holds a seat in either our Congress or our state, our House of Representatives, what the hell are we allowing to go on in our country? Anquifa. This is a Latin term for Anquifa.
Belong to a group messaging chat called Global Intifada, which is the Arabic word for rebellion or uprising, and refers to a series of protests and violent riots carried out by Palestinians in Israel during the last century. Whereas by leading an anti-American and anti-Semitic insurrection on October 18th, 2023, Rashida Tlaib followed Hezbollah's orders to carry out a day of unprecedented anger following an explosion at a Gazan hospital, lying about Israel's responsibility for the attack, which United States intelligence agencies said was not perpetrated by Israel. And whereas members of Congress who denounce the United States while praising terrorist organizations are unfit to hold office.
Fact.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that Representative Rashida Tlaib be censured. Representative Rashida Tlaib forthwith present herself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure, and Representative Rashida Tlaib be censured with the public reading of this resolution by the Speaker.
I think Forbes Breaking News is a great channel here on YouTube. I'm going to link the original video down in the description. I just want to show you guys something really quickly. If I still have it on my screen, I want to show you guys just one more time for the kids in the back that missed it. Where is it? Where is my email? I emailed it to myself. Here, I'll pull it back up again so you guys can see this for yourselves. Here we are. Now, the censure, what does it do to a senator? A formal statement of disapproval. A censure does not remove a senator from office. Since 1789, the censured 9 of its members. The Senate has censured 9 of its members. The United States Constitution gives each house of Congress the power to be judges of the elections, returns, and qualifications of its own members. Now, look at the bottom here, you guys, right here. Okay. In the entire history of the United States Congress, 20 members have been expelled, 15 of them from the Senate and 5 of them from the House of Representatives. 17 of the 20 were expelled for just simply supporting the Confederate States in 1861 and 1862. So we have AOC, Maxine Waters, Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi. When she ripped up the State of the Union address, did you guys know that that was a crime? Oh, yeah. Maxine Waters and all of the rest of these Democrats like Rashida Tlaib And who is that other one? Ilhan Omar, literally pro-Palestine, literally being okay with this. That in itself, when you are telling everybody that the rioters should not let up. You're telling everybody that, hey, I'd be rioting and looting if I was them too. Or I don't know why they're not even mad. Or Nancy Pelosi saying that she wants to punch Donald Trump in his face, a sitting president. You guys, the hypocrisy and the double standards that has to stop. It really does. It's very disheartening when one side, you're seeing this, one side of the political aisle, meaning the left, you're seeing them getting away with all of this. When you are elected into the House of Representatives or into Congress, United States Congress, you are to uphold the oath that you took to follow the Constitution to a T and to be pro-America. And we see time and time again, AOC and the rest of her Democratic Socialist squad are so anti-American, it's not even funny. And this is why every Democrat in the Speaker of the House race voted Hakeem Jeffries. Every one of them. It is a miracle that Mike Johnson was elected. Mike Johnson is very Christian, openly, proud, very Christian, and very let's make America great again. And they grilled him for that. They spread so much hatred because he's pro-American. We got those types of people calling Trump supporters mega extremist, Republican extremist, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, all of the Democrats that say that, while you literally are called a bigot and a Nazi if you support Donald Trump. You got family members not willing to speak with you anymore because you're a Trump supporter. And you literally have people on the left celebrating Palestine and Hamas for what they did to Israel. Members of Congress, members of the Senate, the House of Representatives, you got to go. If you believe they should be expelled, hit that like button. Leave your comments down below. My name is Just Jen. If you want the truth, hit that subscribe button. Okay. If you want the more truth that can't be seen on YouTube, follow me on Rumble, join my Patreon. I have been demonetized for telling the truth. So my donation links, if you want to help me continue, if you want to figure out a way to help me, that's how. The links are all down in my description. My Patreon, my Rumble, everything is down there in the description of my videos. Thank you guys for watching to the bitter end. I really appreciate you guys. Again, we have a voice. They shouldn't be silenced because we have this thing called the First Amendment. Right. It's called free speech. We should be able to use our free speech. And unfortunately, that's the double-edged sword here. We have these members of Congress using free speech, but at what cost? Because I tell you what, when they call being conservative hate speech for simply saying, I support Donald Trump, what do you call this? What do you call from the land to the sea? Palestine will be free. That's hate speech. It's anti-Semitism, and it should be punished. And if you're a member of United States Congress, you should be knowing that we are an ally of Israel. They are our best ally in the Middle East. But yet we have these members, literally the Democratic Socialist Squad, literally crapping all over America, all over Americans, all over what it means to be American, and they're pro-communism. Well, then I think we should ship them all to Gaza. If you agree, hit the like button. All right, guys, my name is Just Jen. I got to get out of here. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Stay good, America. Love you guys.